Well, welcome. Today at Platte Valley Equipment, we're going to talk about planter winterization. My name is Joe Ruskamp. I am technical instructor for Platte Valley Equipment. I want to talk to you about this ExactEmerge planter that I have behind you. And I want to point out that we have not winterized this planter yet, so I want to talk and touch on some of those key areas. You know, we have our CCS tanks that we need to get free of any debris. We have our vacuum systems. We have our manifolds on the planter frame. We have our seed meters, our seed bowls, and then our brush belts. So some really key areas that we're going to touch on and give you some pointers on how to winterize this planter and get it ready for the next season. So the first area that I want to touch on is our CCS seed tanks here. And we want to open up our traps. We want to get rid of any of the seed that we had left over from the previous season. You know, our CCS tanks are sealed up pretty good, but they still have the chance to allow some of that moisture and so forth into those tanks that the seed is going to absorb. Those seeds are going to be a problem for you come spring. They're going to swell up, they're going to mold, they're going to block these seed delivery tubes going to our seed meters. So not only do we want to make sure that our seed tanks are completely clear of any debris, we want to make darn sure that our CCS seed delivery hoses are clean of debris as well. And if you need to, you can blow those out with just straight air. Works really well just to clean those. I want to start with my ExactEmerge seed meter here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my vacuum hose off of this seed meter. Keep in mind that this is vacuum and we are drawing up any dirt, seed treatment, and debris up through this meter. Well, that debris has to be deposited somewhere. If that debris is not blown out of our vacuum motor, then it's going to be deposited in our manifolds. So we need to make sure that these manifolds are covered in that off season. We don't want anything to get inside of there that we don't want. Rodents and so forth. We need to clean the talc and all that debris out of there as well. Even our vacuum motor needs a little bit of maintenance as well. So I'd like to see everybody pull the hoses off on the top and the bottom and at least get in there with an air hose and really blow that built up material out of there. Saves a lot of grief, vibration and so forth on the vacuum fan. So I'm going to open up my seed meter next. Keep in mind that we haven't done anything to this planter. I'm going to take my cover off. I've got some debris in there that needs to be addressed. This vacuum delivery tube needs to be clean as well. So we need to pull these seals out. We need to wash them with some soapy water. Get a good layer of talc back on them again. That'll help with storage. Next, we're going to take out our seed bowl. As you can see, we really need to winterize this planter because we've got some soybean seed in there left over from the last season. So you can wash this meter with some warm soapy water. What we should consider is pulling our vents out of here so that we can keep those clean as well. You can see one vent on the back side here, and then you can see our other vent from our mini seed hopper. We've cleaned our vents. The next place I want to go to is our seed hopper. I want to pull my seed delivery tube out of there as well. I want to make sure that these holes on the top are completely clean. We've got about 50% blockage here right now. If those holes are completely blocked off, we will never deliver any seed to this seed hopper, and that's not going to make you very happy once you get started planting. So clean. There's really no other maintenance other than just clean on this seed meter housing here. There's no need for any graphite or anything on the housing itself. With our seed bowl, once we get this washed in the warm soapy water, we want to coat the back side of our seed bowl again with the spray graphite. Let it dry, and then we want to store these seed bowls in an upright position. One of the best ways that I've seen to store these seed bowls is with the original boxes that came with the planter when it was new. It'll store them in an upright position. So this would be a perfect position to store this in. So Keep that in mind. If we leave this tensioned in that seed meter, we are going to warp this seed bowl. And what's going to happen after that is you're going to have some very inconsistent seed delivery in here as that bowl is rotating in there across our double eliminators. We're going to end up with some issues with some doubles and skips. So take care of this seed bowl. It's very important. One of the other more important areas that I really want to talk about is our seed delivery brush. On the seed delivery brush, I'm going to go ahead and remove this cover. As you can see, it's pretty simple to get this cover off. Even our lower portion of the cover is really easy to get off. And that's good because this needs some cleaning. It needs to be detensioned for the storage season. So I'm going to rotate my handle back here, and as you can see, that's just an over-centering spring in there that's putting the tension on our belt. So let's release the tension off of it, and then we can remove the belt out of there. Once you get that belt removed, we want to wash it. We want to wash this belt off completely. You might have noticed that I actually had some seed that was still embedded in that brush belt. You can see the indentations from the seed that was still left over from the previous season. So we don't want to have that bend over those bristles on the brush. We're going to end up with some seed delivery issues. Wash this assembly out. The next thing I would do is I would probably put if I'm not going to store my belt in an upright position, I think it's perfectly fine if we put that belt back into place again. Pretty easy to get back into place. And then I would just store it just like this with no tension on it. These belts will stretch. But it's a good time once you've got that belt out to look at your wear guides on this meter housing, clean your seed tube sensor here as well. So now that we've got our planter winterized and it's cleaned up, we've got all the debris and everything out of the planter and so forth, it'd be a great time to think about having some of the guys from Platte Valley Equipment come out and do an inspection on this planter. We do the inspections on farm as well, so if you have an interest or have any questions on any of the winterization processes, anything that I've covered today, please contact your service departments. They'd be more than happy to help you out with anything dealing with your planter here.